guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Overcast podcast. I'm Corey.
I'm Wes.
And today we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by none other than Shiny Joe Ryan. Joe, how are you doing, man?
I'm extremely well. Thank you, Corey. Thanks, Wes. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much for being here again. I can't express how excited we were when we found out that you agreed to do this. Because you are honestly one of our absolute heroes.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you and your music have been such a big part of our lives these past several years. So it's a complete honor.
You know my weak point: flattery, flattery, and Japanese barbecue.
Yeah, well, we have plenty of the first one, so get ready for that.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, we'd like to start off by asking how have you been doing? How's life been treating you recently?
Well, it's been great, actually. The first half of the year was kind of similar to most of last year, just sort of hanging around in Perth, doing various musical projects and whatnot. And as of, 6-7 weeks ago, finally got back on the road with Tame Impala. Because, I roadie for these guys maybe 7-8 years now. Mm-hmm. So that has been phenomenal to not only get paid again, finally, but to, that first show in United Center in Chicago was quite stirring emotionally, just to be back on the road. The guys are hot at the moment. They're on fire. And our visuals and all the kind of audio-visual departments and everything, the whole show is it's monumental and it's been great. And the crowd's been amazing. Yeah, it's it was nice having a little time off, but you miss it,
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. We're excited to see that. We've been seeing all the posts that have been happening from this tour, the Tame Impala tour, and it looks incredible.
Well, will you drive 5 hours to Austin? I think we're coming there pretty soon.
We would, but I think it's on a weekday and we work. So
next time,
yeah. I actually saw Tame last time they came to Houston, 2019, 20.
Yeah, I said I do remember actually. Yeah, it would have been around then. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when you guys played ACL as well, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
You did a little detour in Houston. And it was incredible. I actually have a Snapchat of you loading on the stuff, and I was like, look, it's Shiny Joe Ryan. So, yeah.
We've got a bunch of new crew, and, after the first show, as we were the band were about to come on, someone grabbed me and they're like, man, they're all calling your name out there. I'm like, hey, I don't want to rub it in, but I'm one of those famous roadies after Lemmy,
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal.
Only in the roadie world, mate. But no, it's good. Even before the COVID stuff, when we like to give set lists out to the crowd afterwards, I load about 20 up and make little tubes and then fire them out of my leaf blower.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Not only is it COVID safe, but it kind of removes the I don't want to be picking people to give it to. It's it's up to the physics of it all. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
After the Tame Impala tour after the dust is settled with the excitement that is the Tame Impala tour, I have to ask: is there any plans for a Shiny Joe tour for solo stuff?
Look, I've tried to do a few solo stuff, and it works all right. It's okay, but this new album that I've done, I recorded it with my band, which is pretty much 5 of my friends, and I don't think I could really do it without them. Now they're too much fun. We have too much fun together, so I'll see what happens. But maybe we can scrounge together some kind of fund and get it going, but we'll see what happens. I'd love to bring the band across.
Yeah, that would definitely be something that we would go to and be interested in. It's incredible. Your new album, Shiny's Democracy, came out a few months ago, or a month or two ago. Mm-hmm. And it's great. I have to commend you on that. It's pretty great.
Oh, cheers, bud. You can thank Jay Watson for it finally being done. he got sick of me talking about it, and he's like, we've got some downtime now that the pandemic's on. If you don't do it now, you got to shut up. You can't do it. So
yeah,
he even him and James Ireland, who's Pond's drummer, mixed the whole thing. I think they did it for a bottle of wine each or something. It was great. Nice. I did offer the money, but they flatly refused. So I got them a really nice bottle of wine.
Nice.
That's good payment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the hype that Wesley and I were going through when you announced that you were releasing a new album, finally, with the release of Ketamine, the first single off the album. And me and Wesley both had that song on repeat that entire week.
Oh, terrific.
So...
Yeah, I would roll down my windows of my car, blasted, singing "Motherfucking Ketamine." People staring at me like, "What the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, a bunch of people just like, "What's this guy talking about?"
Yeah, I bet that went down well in Texas, eh?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to commend my mom. Actually, I remember she was at a show, and it was like the first time she'd heard it. And I'm like, "Guys, this is a song called Ketamine. Mum, do you know what that is?" She's like, "No." So had to give her the whole spiel, It was great.
Yeah, I bet that wasn't awkward at all.
No, she took it well. She's the best of the bunch, I'm a lucky boy.
Yeah. Something you touched on a little while ago was for finally releasing it. It was a large gap from Shiny Joe Ryan and the Cosmic Microwave Background. That was in 2014, so it was a long gap. Were you working on Shiny's Democracy that whole time, or did it just kind of pick up at a certain time was there a certain time frame that you were working on it, or?
No, I mean, I kind of was toying around with a bunch of stuff, but no, not really. I think when I booked the studio time is when I really had 2 weeks to finish it, I think in that 2 weeks, dug up a bunch of ideas and just finalized 6-7 of the songs. And I was kind of almost writing it as I'm on my way to the studio as well,
Oh man, yeah, real pressure.
Totally. I think I worked better under that kind of coming up against the wall,
Yeah. How long did you have for that? How long was the studio time booked?
3 days, I think. We spent the first day kind of getting room sounds and stuff because we were doing it live. At least all the instrumentation, not so much vocals and whatnot. But 2 days really in it all.
Very impressive.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was good though. I got Jay and James as well from Pond to jump in, and they're keyboard wizards. So one of them was on piano, and I think Jay was in a kind of a synth palace. So it was like Garth from the band. Just sort of keyboards stacked on top of other keyboards. And
yeah, I've seen their setups, and they're very impressive. I'd love to hear maybe a Ginoli and Gum remix of some of the songs on Shiny's Democracy.
I think I would actually have to pay them for that one. But yes, one day soon.
A bottle of wine won't cut it.
Not this time. I think that ship has sailed. But I reckon I'll hit him up. Yeah, maybe after this tour I'll have a fist grill.
Yeah.
Once the paycheck has come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask about the difference of approach, I guess, in making albums. How did you approach this album differently than you might have approached the first album?
Well, the first one I recorded in Berlin. I was living in Berlin for maybe 9 or 10 months. And I just had a little interface and no Apple gear. So it's quite lo-fi and toppy because, I just didn't really know what I was doing. But, that was fun in itself, hiring out record or sort of practice spaces with a drum kit and slinging a mic or two over the exposed pipes in the roof, and using that to record the whole thing. But this time I really wanted to get the band in because I wanted things to speed up and slow down and not so much be regimented click and have a bit of life to it,
Yeah.
And I'd just been jamming with my friends, and I mean, they're really good musicians in their own right, and we have great times together. And you know, they record with a lot of different bands in Perth, and I figured it'd be a lot of fun for them and for me especially to have them in to the studio to record. Because maybe, you know, like a lot of them hadn't done that kind of a recording before and used that kind of gear, and it was great. Everyone learned a lot, and everyone had a lot of laughs. And I hope to translate it in the record was my main idea. You know, like if we all have fun now, surely when you're listening to it, you can hear that we're all, you know, barely containing our laughter and
definitely
all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's definitely the vibe that it gives off. Especially the music videos for Ketamine and Pub Boat definitely help that convey that message as well of having fun.
Good. I'm so glad. Have you seen the third one we did as well?
Yeah, it was for
a Stitch in Time.
Yeah,
and it's me and my housemate's dog running down the beach. For everyone out there who doesn't know, I was dressed as a dog. I bought this dog costume from eBay, and we're on our way to the beach to record this video clip, and you know, grabbing a 6-pack or whatever. And I scratched this person's car as I was backing out of.
Oh no!
So I ran out, and they were there. You know, I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just grab my ID." And I came back, and I was just like, we exchanged numbers. Also, I don't usually just rock around and dress as a dog. And I believe the guy's response was, "Do you have a job?" To which I said, "Yeah, I do actually, but it is not dressing as a dog. That's for sure." I think they were all like, "What? Who has just hit our car? You know, why is this happening to us? Why do we have to deal with this thing?"
Why us?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but they were good sports. They were good sports.
That's good. I'm glad it all got sorted out. Yeah, it's been a great few months for you in terms of releases as well, because off the back of Shiny's Democracy was the new Pond release with 9.
I know, thank God it's out finally.
Yeah, and I gotta say, you did not disappoint with that one either. You guys killed it with 9.
Wonderful.
Yeah, definitely one of the standouts for me. To kind of give a background with mine and Wesley's history of Pond, I discovered you guys when I first got into the psych genre as a whole. So that was probably in like 2014.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I listened to like Beard's Wives Denim and Hobo Rocket and stuff like that. And then 2015 came the release of Man It Feels Like Space Again. And with that release, that solidified you guys in like my top, because that album, it's safe to say that album probably changed my life, because in terms of like the kind of music that I knew I was going to listen to for probably the rest of my life, because that album is just monumental.
Wow, that's the highest praise I think we've ever had, mate. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we found each other.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I found you too. But yeah, so looking back at the discography of Pond, it's a very, very interesting progression of sound, especially coming from Hobo Rocket, which was great because I was going through a big Sabbath phase at the time, and I heard that in recording that you guys were listening to a bunch of Sabbath, so that kind of influenced like the heavier sound of that album. And then with Man It Feels Like Space Again, and then The Weather and stuff like that. And it seems like it's all kind of led up to the sound that we got on 9. Was that sort of a natural progression, or?
I mean, look, the beautiful thing about Pond is no one ever wants to do the same thing twice, you know. And because there's 5 of us, and everyone has their varying side projects or involved with, you know, Tame or whatever, you just learn stuff every time you do it, you know? And every time we've released an album, I always thought, you know, this is the best thing we've ever done. And it's been that way for every release. And that's that's bloody good, I reckon. Good effort, you know, because I think the only people we're trying to satisfy is ourselves. And we're certainly our our own worst critics, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And in that kind of way, between everyone's varying skills, their tastes, and then trying not to do the same thing, trying to do the best thing possible. Every time we do an album, it's sort of comes out different and comes out kind of unique, you know, because everyone's got a hand on the steering wheel a bit. But also it's interesting because we've learned after like the third album, you know, that when it got around to like Beard White's Denim Time, that you have to give up your ego a bit. You can't, if you bring a song to the table, you have to be willing for people to, you know, add chords, change it around, change lyrics. You know, maybe people say that's for your solo album, Joe, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a humbling experience, you know. It's just pure. All that's left is just pure, I don't know, musical freedom. It sounds a bit corny, but yeah, with this new album, again, trying something completely new. Just went into the same studio as we did the Shiny Joe stuff, and we had about 3 days as well, and just did a bunch of random, off-the-cuff, 15-minute jams, and then from there, cut out a bunch of stuff and made songs.
Nice. Well, will we ever see the release of those 15-minute jams?
Well, listen, I'll tell you, there's quite a bit of, we took the gold out for sure, but there's still a bit of like silver in there, a bit of bronze, you know?
Yeah.
You know that song, Czech Locomotive?
Yeah.
That's pretty much just one of those jams almost the whole way through.
Okay.
Maybe just whittled down from 15 minutes to, you know, 5 minutes, but that was a good example of, like, you can just hear the tape turn on and it goes, you know?
Yeah. Very nice. Very interesting. I love to hear about the recording processes behind songs. I think there's always cool stories in there. And
yeah, me too. I do, when I'm on tour, I listen to like Song Exploder and, you know, try and like hear what the professionals do, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny that we talk about that because right before you came on, me and Wesley were actually talking about the Beatles. They just released their remastered Let It Be, the Let It Be Deluxe remastered thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it has like all the outtakes and stuff. And we're like, it's interesting hearing the Beatles like write something. And there was a demo of John Lennon first writing Give Me Some Truth and stuff like that. So it's really cool to hear all those little details and stuff.
Oh, man. And are you excited about the documentary that's coming out?
Definitely.
Yeah. Super excited. Me and Wesley are already planning a watch party and everything. So.
Oh, terrific. I can't wait, man. That's going to be such a little like voyeuristic look into the supergroup, you know, that is the Beatles.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the original Let It Be movie, that like the original cut?
I didn't know it came out. I thought it all got canned after it all went south, but no.
There was the full thing was on YouTube a few years back, a while ago, and it was pretty. I didn't think they would, because you always hear interviews and stuff of like Paul and Ringo being like, "Yeah, we're never going to release that footage again," because it was just them arguing the whole time, and that's what it was. Like the original cut, like it was pretty interesting to see them like in that state of mind. But I'm excited for this release because Peter Jackson's like, that's not what it was at all. Like there's hours of them having fun.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of like I don't know. I don't want to say a slander film like the original, like just highlighting the bad parts. But I'm excited to see this new stuff because it looks great.
Yeah, I know. And Peter Jackson's he's the man. You know, he's going to do it justice as well.
Yeah. I hope there's a sneaky little Hobbit in there somewhere or something.
Maybe, hopefully, just a little CGI one.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious as to like whenever you're writing songs, how do you know like, oh, I want this song to be for my own solo stuff, or I'm going to bring this over to the guys, you know, for Pond? How do you set those aside?
Well, it's interesting. I thought I knew, but obviously I don't. I'd written Gold Cup. Well, it wasn't called Gold Cup. I just had the instrumentation and I was going to write something out of it. We were going to put it on the Shiny Joe record. And I was playing the guys the demo before I was going to teach them the song. And Jay was like, "Oh, I don't know, mate. I think that might be a Pond song." He's never said that to me before in his life. The only thing he's ever said to me was like, "Oh, Joe, I think it might be a solo project song, Joe." But usually people know. I mean, I usually just pitch a bunch of ideas, and if people like it, we'll use it. Or, someone will be like, I like the end of that. I've got to start for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sorry, please.
No, sorry. Is that sort of how it works with everybody in the band? Do they just bring songs forward and just as a group you guys decide, yeah, this will be a Pond song? Or?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Open to suggestions all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess people kind of know. Like, I mean, we wouldn't play Ketamine in Pond, But but no, it's. I think. I mean, if you got a fun idea, I mean, we just throw it into the hat, And Jay has got Jay and Jin, and everyone, like I said, just has their own take on what music should be, and it's just pretty interesting watching a song develop completely different to the way you imagined it in your mind.
Yeah.
Always better as well. There's never been a point where I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't give that over,
Yeah. It's definitely interesting thinking about that kind of thing. Like, what if this song, like, because we hear Pond songs, we hear the finished products, but it's interesting thinking about it like that, like as if like, oh, what would this have sounded like if it had stayed like a Gum song or like a Shiny Joe Ryan song or something. But
no, it's I always think we make like things come out better when we're together. It's like.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something about it all. Like it becomes more than more than one person. It's like It's just amazing. I don't know. Sorry.
No, yeah, I completely understand, and it's really cool because I listen to everybody in Pond's solo work. I even listened to Ginoli when he had Ham Jam. That stuff was great. And it's interesting hearing like a Gum record and then a Shiny Joe record and then a Nick Albrecht album and stuff like that. And then being able to go back to a Pond record and hearing all those different little elements that may have been in their solo work. And then just it kind of, like you said, like amped up maybe in the Pond stuff. Cause it seems like you guys really work off each other, like bounce off each other in terms of creative influences and stuff like that when it really comes through the music.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I feel that way. I do. I think we work better together, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, though, Jay's new Gum album is going to be pretty amazing.
I cannot wait.
I've heard most of the tracks and it's going to be great. Nor can I. I can't wait to hear that stuff. His last one was so good as well. I loved when I got that home. I think it was just before it came out. I managed to grab like a copy from the Spinning Top office and played it loud in the house. And it was like, yes, so good.
I always wondered that. Like, do you guys like show each other your songs and stuff before? Like, do you ask them for advice on them maybe? Or, well, not for advice, but like, do you send them over and just be like, hey, have a listen to this? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I've totally asked Jay for advice, so absolutely. But yeah, often enough, someone will be like, "Here's the link to my album. Listen to it if you want." Have no pressure. I'm not going to quiz you about it.
Yeah.
No one's ever gone like, "Oh, Joe, what do you think of that guitar solo?" Like, oh, yeah, it was great. It's like there wasn't one.
You didn't listen to it. I knew it.
Never any of that kind of carry on. But no, just it's no real hiding it or anything. It's usually just like, here's the Dropbox link, have a go, which is nice,
Yeah, that's cool. Well, now I'm definitely very excited for the Gum album.
Oh, great, me too. Yeah,
may have to see if I can get into talks with Jay to have him on, possibly. But
oh, absolutely, I'm sure you would.
Well, yeah, man, it's going so well so far, and we have a lot more questions from the fans. We asked on Reddit and Facebook if anybody had some questions, and unsurprisingly, a lot of people did have questions. So let me go ahead and pull some up. Wesley, if you want to start by reading one of the first ones off of yours, go ahead.
Yep, I have one off of Reddit from Lo-Fi Junkie. What is currently your favorite guitar pedal and guitar?
Ooh, I'm currently rocking. Look, shout out to Fender USA, gave me a really nice Telecaster. So our Guitar Tech has this 1967 really beautiful Telecaster, and I've never played anything like it. And I offered to buy it off him, and he said, "You're not the first, you won't be the last." But the answer is no. So Fender came through, and they gave all the Pond peeps like a guitar each, and some amps that we can use in the States, save us a bit of money on trying to hire stuff all the time. So currently I've got I think it's like a custom shop Telecaster. It's got like a really nice neck, as close as I can get to his 67. And my favorite pedal at the moment is it's called a Sodomizer. It sort of looks like a Coca-Cola can, like in terms of the paint job on it. But yeah, Sodomizer. It's like a fuzz. One side of it's like unbridled. Turn it on, it's like, and the other one is like quite gated and cool. Like sounds like it's coming out of one of those little. I think it's like a pig nose amp or something. It's quite like and like nasally or something. So that's my favorite at the moment.
Very nice. This next question is from Facebook, and I am not going to pronounce their middle name because I don't know how, but I can say their first and last. It's K Braun on Facebook. They say, "I'd like to know how Shiny Joe got his nickname and who are some of his favorite bands/musicians."
Well, when people ask me that, I often say it's because I sweat a lot, which is where the Shiny comes from. But no, a friend of mine, Jack Quirk, he just called me Shiny one day, and he reckoned it was because of my shiny personality. And, very, very kind of him. But yeah, when people ask me on stage, whatever, when I'm roadieing, like, where's Shiny about? I'll usually make up some stuff like I ate a lot of pickles, wearing like thick sunscreen all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said it was because of my shiny personality, and it was very kind of him. But yeah, that's what I'm told. And my favorite artists, gosh, who am I listening to at the moment? I've been really thrashing the Radiohead of late. Just seems kind of fitting walking around the streets of LA, when you're like trudging back up a bloody mountain. It's nice to listen to a bit of Tom York.
Yeah.
But and I've also been listening to this artist, Bex is her name. She's a Perth artist. She's like a sort of hip hop producer. Got this amazing, it's like an amazing live show with like dancers and all kinds of stuff. And you should check it out. She's dropped a few singles. And
what was the name of it again?
Bex, Bex. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. She's got the song called like Thick Bitch. It's like, I am a thick bitch with a bad attitude. And just like all about like loving your body, and like, it's really a lot of fun. So check that out. It's good fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out.
Great.
I'm sorry to get off topic. I'm a little upset right now because when this meeting first started, I had ordered pizza before, and it was just sitting outside on the front porch that whole time, and ants got to it.
Oh my god!
No.
Did you get a text or something? God almighty.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna leave the message leave the meeting when we're talking to you. So it's fine. I can get another pizza, but.
I don't know, man. Pizza's like my favorite food, so I'll be like, yeah, guys, I have to leave you here. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't get the wings or the garlic nuts, so that's good.
Well, I appreciate your dedication, mate.
Thank you.
That's how we are here. Actually, a few days ago, I was talking to Leah Senior. I don't know if you know Leah Senior.
I don't think I do. No.
Yeah, she's on the Flightless label, Flightless Records.
Okay.
And halfway through the interview, because we have notes here that we like to follow, just a basic roadmap of how we want the interview to go. But I was talking to her, and I spilled my water all over my notes, so it just turned into this black smudge.
Oh wow!
And that happened midway through the interview, and I told, I didn't want to get up, and there was wires everywhere, and I was just like, no, because she was going off on she was telling a story, and I was just like, I'm going to sit through it. I'm going to deal with it on my own.
Wow, amazing. The behind the scenes stuff that happens behind the scenes. You got to have like maybe a blooper reel at the end or something.
Yeah. We're dedicated here at Overcast. So.
Oh, absolutely. I can see it.
All right, and we're back. So yeah, I read the last question. So Wesley, if you want to go ahead and read a next one, fire them off.
Okay. What are your thoughts on? Sorry if this is you've been asked this a lot. What are your thoughts on the band King Gizzard? Do you ever see a Pond Giz collab in the future or anything like that?
I can't say. I mean, those guys are amazing. I'm trying to say, when I met those guys first, they blew my mind, not only at how talented and amazing their show is, but at how amazing they are themselves, humble, friendly, and just good, as we say in Ireland, good crack to hang out with, I should say that's spelled CRAIC in Ireland, good crack. I could see something, yeah, maybe. I mean, they're so profoundly, their output is huge, it's, I would love to do something with them for sure. I just love to see him again as well. Mm-hmm. I think I saw them last. They just came to Perth, and they were playing this outdoor venue at an old women's mental institution, like from back in the colonial days. Which is it's nice turning it that like horrible place, like kind of repurposing it into like a nice place for arts and trying to like change the atmosphere. I definitely was in there once in the green room, and I thought it's definitely haunted in here,
Yeah.
There's some dark energy going on. But yeah, they were amazing. And they played a lot of that metal album that they just put out.
Infest the Rat's Nest.
And I thought it was such a breath of fresh air because I've seen them a few times and I love them. And when I saw that, because I don't really listen to, I listen to metal, sure, don't really put it on at home, to relax. But yeah. They were incredible and it blew my mind and I couldn't stop watching. It was so enthralling, But yes, I'd love to do something with them. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the that was from Always Eating Toast on Reddit, by the way. And one of the concerts that I've been most envious of all time was GizFest a few years back, where you guys played there.
Mm-hmm.
Mild High Club played. Orb played. It was just all the heavy hitters. It was like, oh God, if only I could fly to Australia at least for this weekend.
It was a wonderful couple of shows because the guys from Orb and Mild High Club are just really nice folks to hang out with, let alone their music, which is fantastic. So
yeah, we talked to Zach from Orb. He was one of the first few episodes that we did. One of the nicest guys ever. He's a great guy.
Yeah, GizFest, man. Hopefully they'll do that again when the pandemic kind of lifts,
Yeah, that'd be great. Me and Wesley are still, we're holding true that one day we'll fly to Australia and go to a GizFest, but we'll see.
Well, hit me up if you're coming over. I'll find a place for you to stay and we'll go have the crack.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, Wesley, there's a second part of that question. Yeah, go for it.
Are there any chances of the first 3 Pond albums ever getting added to streaming services?
We were thinking about maybe, like the first record is recorded on like a little 8-track in our house. It's pretty lo-fi. The songs, there's one where it's just like me sweeping a brush and like Nick and I going like, la, 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 la. Yeah, makes no sense, So we're thinking maybe a compilation, perhaps like a best of. We could maybe trawl through the mire and get the gold, and maybe that'll be a thing,
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Does that go as for vinyl releases again as well, like reissues?
Oh, we would love to do a compilation vinyl for sure. I think the problem that's standing in the way at the moment is no one has the masters anymore. I think the CD with the masters is probably unlabeled in a crate in like one of our houses. So we just need to trawl through and find that classic pond,
Yeah. Yeah. I remember the first time listening to like Psychedelic Mango Vision and stuff like that, and just being like, this is the same band? It's great stuff. I love it so much. It definitely holds a special place in my heart.
For sure. I mean, look, it's if nothing else, look, it means it's just an example of you all got to start somewhere. You got to just build on it every time you do it, an album or do something new. Always learning, always pushing the boundaries. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed of your roots. But I don't know if we'll put out all the albums. We'll make a best of it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I would at least love Beard's Wives Denim, because that is really hard to come by even nowadays. So
yeah, I think something about that. What was it? We're just waiting on. I think what happened. We signed with. We're with Spinning Top Music at the moment. Who's our manager's label, and we're just waiting for copyright to get it back into being renewed, and then we'll grab it and we'll definitely do some more pressings for sure. It's
Very
something
nice.
to do with that kind of thing,
Yeah, definitely. Well, great, exciting news. Looking forward to that possible compilation album.
If we find the masters, yeah.
yeah, definitely. This one comes from Chris Braun on Facebook, and they ask, I'd love to know what song Shiny Joe enjoys to play live the most and why.
I guess at the moment it's Edge of the World Part 1 and 2. Actually, no, that's a lie. No, sorry. The newest one is America's Cup for sure.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I changed my mind mid-sentence there. I was going to say Edge of the World Part 1 and 2 because there's just so many different aspects and atmospheres, moods that goes through. And I really get to utilize like every one of my 70 pedals that are like, sellotaped on top of one another, which is quite fun. But I guess at the moment, America's Cup, because again, like I was telling you about when we were recording the album, we were just doing random jams. And I just remember listening to a bit of Talking Heads, and I was like, man, they don't even have to play like notes. They just go like, and like, I think the album was Remain in Light I was listening to. And I just kind of got the idea of just going like, so it's quite fun to play that live because I can sit back and enjoy Nick sort of dancing around and being like the amazing frontman he is, and then mixed in with a little bit of like technicality guitar wise. So, but it's good. I think that's my favorite at the moment.
Yeah. On The Edge of the World Part 1 and 2, when The Weather came out, I distinctly remember being in class. I was still in high school, and I remember being in mechanics. It was like some car repair shop class that I had to take senior year or something.
Wow.
And I was listening to it, and I remember it was Edge of the World Part 2 Into the Weather, because I was the closer for the album.
Yeah.
And I had to leave the classroom. I was getting emotional. I was like, I'm like, can I go to the restroom? I need to go. And I just walked, because we had an outdoor campus. So I just walked around the school listening to it, and I was just like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Wow, that's the best story I've heard yet. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I almost had the same kind of epiphany reaction when we saw you guys play it live. We saw you guys last time you came to Austin a few years back. You played at the Mohawk, and that was great. I was gonna ask you if you remember walking on stage, because we stood right in front of you, and I remember you walked on stage, and the first thing you said was, "How do you guys like Daddy's new pants?" And they were these incredibly bedazzled pink butterfly pants, and I loved it. Like, it was incredible.
Look, God Almighty, I can't remember saying that, but if that's true, that may have been the best thing I've ever said in my life. Were you guys wearing? What are you guys wearing? A tie-dye shirt or anything like that?
No, I was wearing this Pond shirt actually.
Yeah.
I was wearing
Yes.
I think
bought before.
I think Justin was wearing a tie-dye shirt.
He might have been actually.
Because remember, Nick basically was standing on top of him during the
our
song.
Our friend Justin has a video because we're so close to the stage, and you know better than anyone how Nick does weird gymnastic things on stage sometimes, and he was doing one where he was leaning completely backwards and singing upside down, and he was using my friend Justin's head for support in the crowd so he wouldn't fall.
Oh wow!
And my friend Justin has a video of it, and it's incredible.
Oh man, that's bad. And Mohawk Band, that was so much fun. One of my good friends he plays in a band called Machete Western. He kept saying he bought me a whip, It's I got you a whip, and everything. And he brought it to the Mohawk Bend. And I'm like, how did you get it in here? And he's like, dude, it's Texas. I was like, oh yeah, fair enough,
Yeah.
But
everybody walks around with a whip here.
That whip made it onto the new album, that's for sure. So
yeah. Awesome.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Incredible stuff.
Good times.
Wesley, do you have is it my turn? Or it's your turn, I think.
Yeah, I got one more here from Only Wears Blue off of Reddit. Specifically about the Pub Boat music video. They thought it was hilarious, and they want to know how it went down with your mates. What do you propose the idea for it to them?
Look, it was winter in Australia, and I was going to be we'll borrow some kegs from my local pub, empty kegs. They're not going to give us full kegs. I'd kind of pick them up in my boat in the river one at a time. They'd be floating on them, that kind of thing. But it was a bit cold, so I couldn't put the boys through that. And also, I didn't get my boating license in time. So I figured, I don't know, I was trying to just shoot it around my house because, save some money or whatever. And I figured we could maybe employ the ancient Egyptian pyramid building techniques, by using the kegs as rollers.
Yeah, to roll them, yeah.
And it was just a stupid idea that people took far too seriously. And those guys did an amazing job. But I remember all my neighbors coming out and being like, oh yeah, what are they up to now? Mm-hmm. But luckily I've got some great neighbors. And, it was just a bit of a laugh and everything. But I think what's his name? Lincoln McKilney. Sorry, can't even say his name. Lincoln McKilney. He's got his own band in Perth. He's an amazing documentary maker. And one night at the pub, I got him a birthday present or something, and he was like, "Oh mate, if there's anything I can ever do," and I'm like, "Well, there is. You can come film this with your 4K,
Yeah.
And anyway, you should check out his music too. Lincoln McKilney. Oh, fuck me, Lincoln McKilney and the Wrecking Train. I'm saying his last name wrong, but I haven't said it in a few months, and I've totally forgotten. I might look it up, and I'll come back to that one. I have it here somewhere.
And the Wrecking Train, you said?
Yeah. Yes.
Same.
Yeah, I'll double check that one before the end. I apologize, Lincoln. I owe you a beer, mate. Sorry.
We know you're watching, Lincoln. Awesome, yeah. I always love getting new artists to check out from the artists that we're talking to, so it's good stuff.
I was actually in Lincoln's video clip. He's got a song called "Drinking with My Friends," and just sort of went to his band member's mum's farm and had a big bonfire, and they just filmed us drinking and singing. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Very nice.
Definitely will.
I will. We'll definitely check that out for sure. Yeah. Now this question on Reddit is from Direxter. Sorry, Lincoln McKilney.
No.
Yeah, it's from Direxter on Reddit. Sorry about the name. And this is kind of a long-winded one. They have a few questions in here, so I'm gonna split them up. And if we could do kind of like a rapid-fire answer for this one,
okay,
that'd be great. So that part. So the first part of it we kind of already covered, and it was just what was going on between the gap between Cosmic Microwave Background and Shiny's Democracy.
Mm-hmm.
And he commends you that all the work that you do is seems hard AF, and he's proud of you, pretty much.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah. He says, in the past, I've seen videos of Joe playing his songs live as a solo set, which is super impressive, in quotations. Does he plan to bring the full band for any future gigs?
Absolutely. I definitely plan to. We're just going to logistically figure that one out. But yes, totally. The band is going to be great.
Cool.
Nice.
And this next part of it is something that I'm really interested in as well. And he asks, what are the chances of seeing a Mink Muscle Creek reunion /tour?
I'm afraid that ship sailed, mate. We got back together once. We got back together once and played a small festival that our friends were putting on just outside of Perth. And we did it. And I don't know, we've sort of moved on from that part of our lives. But I'm sure there's some stuff on the internet you can relive, some live gigs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not again, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's another one that I'm hunting on vinyl as well. So at least a vinyl repress of that would be great.
Yes, absolutely.
I've actually been in talks with one of my vinyl buddies, because I have a bunch of vinyl friends that we trade stuff with, and he actually has a bracelet. A Mink Muscle Creek bracelet with a USB in it.
Wow.
And he says that was given at like your first few shows.
Yeah,
and
that was the original.
Yeah, I was like, I need to get that somehow.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool little gem.
Are you not able to order that from Spinning Top? I think we have I thought last time we had some vinyls left in the Spinning Top
I think they're
library.
sold out. I could be wrong.
I'll double check. Don't you worry. I'll make sure we get some more back in.
Cool. Yeah. I remember one time we went to Waterloo. I think it was in Austin, and Wesley found a copy. Mm-hmm. But we were poor at the time, and it was like $50 or something.
I think it was only $40.
$40. But we were broke high schoolers, and we're like, $40. That's our entire year's salary.
Yeah, it was like, buy this record, or do we get some merch at the show when we go to it later?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man,
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
That's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll get some more made.
Do you have one more, Wesley? I'd sent you a new.
I have one more. Will you ever play Gold Cup, or Plastic Soul live?
Absolutely. Oh, sorry, go.
Cool. Thank you. Also, what's your favorite song off the new album? And to tag off that, what's your favorite Pond song of all time?
Interesting. Let me think. I reckon Gold Cup might be up there. I did write the instruments for it, but the way that a friend of ours, Jesse, did like the strings over the top, and then I kind of gave Nick a rough, it goes like la 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 la, and then he just like wrote amazing lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing that song coming from just this little piano progression I had to being full, powerful song is probably why it's one of my favorites for sure. And favorite song of all time in the Pond, there's a few in there. Hey, I can't answer that one. I don't know.
You could be completely biased and say one of your songs. It's all right.
It's just like everything like in the back catalog now is like a step below the new album. So I'm still kind of getting used to it. I need to listen to it a few more times. And I can't answer that second part, but yeah.
Cool.
Sorry.
Well, yeah. You definitely have a lot of bangers with Pond. I was talking to Wesley about this earlier, and for us, your songs on each album that you have a song is definitely one of the standout songs for sure. Like All I Want for Christmas on The Weather is incredible. And Dr. Zinn, I think that's probably my favorite close. Well, Man, It Feels Like Space Again is pretty great. It's one of my favorite closers of a Pond album because there's something weird about that song. It seems very nostalgic for me for some reason. Even the first time I listened to it, it was very strange, but I liked it a lot. It was great.
I'm so glad. Awesome.
Is it true? I heard there's a lot of people were arguing about it on Reddit when the album came out. Does Kevin play drums on that song?
Sorry, is this which song
Doctor's
is this?
In.
Doctor's In. Let me think. I can't remember. Let me. How does it go again? How does the end go? I have it here somewhere. I remember. I think I was gonna do it, and Kev was like, "Yeah," he was sitting there recording or whatever, and he was like, "You can do it." I'm like, "Yeah, you're kidding yourself, mate. I can't play that." So I think I'm going to just say that yes, he must have jumped on and done it. I reckon.
Yeah.
Don't quote me. Oh no, go on, quote me. I reckon he did. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember it was a big thing. Somebody on Reddit was like, "I read it on an interview they did recently," and nobody could find that interview. So they're just like, "Oh yeah, he did it. You're lying." So it was I had to clarify for all the Pond fans out there.
Yeah, I mean, unless I'm inventing a memory, I seem to remember him saying, "Joe, you do it," and I'm like, "You're joking. There's no chance, you know." So then I think he stepped up and just did one pass or something, and it was the take, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, this final question comes from Wesley and I, and it's interesting because it actually came from us 6 years ago. When you guys released Man, It Feels Like Space Again, you did a Reddit AMA, and we asked a whole list of questions, not expecting to hear anything back, but lo and behold, there was a response. And I believe it was Jay who was responding to all of our questions. So it's cool to have a second point of view from you. And one of our questions was, because at that time, there was kind of a bit of a dry spell with touring here in Texas from you guys. At least for a while, because, you know, we couldn't afford to go anywhere. But we had money and we were ready to go see you. So one of the questions we asked was, why do you guys hate Texas? And Jay's response was, we don't hate Texas, we love it. In fact, Shiny Joe Ryan always threatens to move to Austin. And we're wondering, does that hold true? Was Jay speaking fact when he said that?
Oh, he was speaking absolute fact. Yes. I love Austin. I love meeting people there. I've got a few friends who live there. Yeah, it just seems like a really chill city, you know, my kind of people.
Yeah.
People up for adventure. You know, there's a few street, creeks and rivers and stuff to go swimming, even though it's landlocked and everything. Yeah, I'm into Austin.
Yeah. Well, we can't wait to have you guys back. I don't know if it must have slipped my mind. I don't know if we asked you. Is there any plans for a Pond tour here in the States anytime soon?
Yeah, we're just sorting it out at the moment. We're still waiting on, you know, COVID and stuff to lift. But like I don't know if I was telling you guys before, but we were supposed to go home between these tours, these Tame tours, but our borders are actually closed at the moment. So I think by leaving the country, we have to stay away for like 3 months or something.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're just gonna wait till we get back on the level with the rest of you guys, and then we'll sort something out. But yes, there's definitely talk on the cards. We're throwing around some dates, and we'll figure it out next year for sure.
Nice. Cool. I hope there's some Austin dates or some Texas dates on there as well.
Yeah, me too.
You and us both. But that about wraps it up.
I have one more thing I would like to ask.
Oh, go for it. Sorry.
So back when me and Corey first started listening to Pond, you know, of course we go on Reddit. We found this picture of all you guys on the set of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I'd be remiss if I asked, like, what happened? How did you guys meet?
How did that happen?
Yeah, how'd that happen?
So Julian, who is Tame Impala's drummer, he knows one of the 3 guys who edits the show, like the editors. So if they were taking lunch, and he took us around the set and showed us all the different like places. You know, I think we went into back in Dennis's apartment, and there was like a hatchet in some sand, and we were like, what could this be? You know, and then it turned out to be the like, you know, burying the hatchet, the like Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
And we'd just been at Coachella the like weekend before, and I'd met Danny DeVito very briefly, and we were both watching Beach House in front of the crowd, between the stage and the crowd. You know, I had like bummed a cigarette off someone, and I was like, you know, hey, do you want a cigarette? And he's like, I can't have a cigarette or I'll fucking die. So he apparently didn't work the day that we rocked up. He doesn't work like Mondays or something. But as we were leaving, the cast were coming back from lunch, and you know, had a little bit of a chat with some people, and you know, it was like, let's take a photo. Dennis, the actor who plays Dennis, was like being totally Dennis and like, no, guys, we got to get back to. Oh, okay, whatever, you know. And as we're all huddling up, Charlie comes running out, and he's like, wait, and like. So it was great. It blew my mind. It was an amazing experience. And for a little while, it was my Tinder picture for a bit until I met my partner.
Yeah. Well, your impressions are spot on.
Yep.
And
it's hewn into the rock of my mind. Yeah, I can't forget that.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah, it was incredible to see, because we're huge It's Always Sunny fans, and that was just like a colliding of worlds for us to see.
Yeah, we were like a deer in the headlights, pretty much. Just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, again, thank you so much for doing this, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your I'm sure, well, not so much as of now, but busy schedule. You have some time off, but thanks so much for doing it.
No worries, Corey. No worries, Wes. I'll make sure I pass on about getting that Beard Wives denim and Mick Mossa Creek vinyl repressed.
That'd be great.
I'll alert the powers that be, and we'll sort it out.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I can't wait to look forward. I'm looking forward to that. And thanks so much for all the music and everything that you've done and released. Making us happy boys all these years.
No worries. Hopefully there'll be a few more to come.
Definitely. We can't wait. Well, yeah, have a great rest of your day, and stay safe, stay clean.
Thank you. And thanks to all your listeners and people who send in your questions. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Follow Pond on Instagram. Go listen to Pond's new record 9, Shiny Joe's Shiny Democracy. Just go check out everything that we talked about today, and follow us on Instagram. Shout out to Justin, who is our audio engineer. He does all the audio for the podcast. He's a real champ. And yeah, thanks everybody. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Awesome. Thanks so much.